With activities here. At this time, President Jeff Ulmer.
This is really strange being up here. This is my first band banquet, but what the heck. Well, I'd just like to start off with saying band has been really important to me ever since 5th grade. I don't know what I would have really done without band. It's been really great. High school band, I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't had it. It taught me such self-discipline and taught me so much about music and competition and just working as a team, or not really as a team, it was more of a family. And ever since my freshman year, all these experiences with all these wonderful people and band boosters and everybody helping us, it's really meant a lot to me. And I mean, without the band boosters, we probably wouldn't even have a marching band, and they're so great. And I just thank the band boosters a lot because it's so neat having you all there, helping us getting dressed with our uniforms, and then just always being there. It's like more like parents than just other people just trying to help us. And I'd like to just thank all of the seniors and everybody else that I've been in band with, and anybody that I've yelled at or screamed at, I'm sorry. I care an awful lot. I guess that's one reason that I'm going to be going into music, or particularly band, when I get out of high school. And I'd like to just say you all are really great, and I'm going to miss you a lot. And I'd just like to thank Mr. Preston because he is really a great guy, even when he gets in some of his moods and kind of just, about teachers. But he's a really great guy, and thank you, Mr. Preston, for all you've done for us and helping us get our music together and teaching us our self-discipline and just teaching us all about band, and I thank you a lot. And I guess that's about it. I'm going to miss you guys an awful lot because you're real special. The next speaker is Mark Newton.
Next year. We'll play next year, Mark.
Let me get a picture from my mom. Most of you know, well, most people I know that I'm coming back next year. But they don't know the reason. See, when I was in 7th grade, I wasn't really good, so I had to make a deal with the devil in order to play trumpet. So my contract was for 9 years, so I got one more to go. But there's other people on the top. I gotta keep going. I don't want to cry.
You're coming back.
Band is my life, and I met my best friend in band. And I'll tell you a little story how we met. Our cabin was broken into, and I accused him of stealing my money. And I was going to go down to the podium, or they were practicing, and I was going to go beat him up. And we got to talking, and I asked him over one night. And we went fishing the next day, and we've been best friends ever since. But I'm glad to see that a lot of kids are getting into it. It's wonderful. It's great. It's been great to me. And I want to thank Mr. Preston and Mr. Turfield and Miss Manarino. And she's not even here, but for her support. And I want to thank my mom for buying a bar. It doesn't look like one now. But thank you. Next speaker will be Jeff Ulmer.
Didn't already go.
He's got it right there.
Well, I guess I'll just say the best part of band is all the friends I've had, because I don't know, I like playing my horn and everything, but the best times I've had have been like at band camp. It's hard to say the band camp is fun, but this year is the funnest time I've ever had. I mean, 2 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Preston had to come to our room, and, and we had to go outside and do about 50 push-ups. But it was fun staying up all night. And Mr. Thurkle, too. And we'd stay up real late in our room, and Brian Clark knew how to hypnotize people. And we tried an awful lot, but he just never did get it right or something. It's fun trying, though. And then, I don't know, we just had a lot of fun with friends. We had every day, or before every band competition, we'd all come up here and play football, and we'd beat each other up, and we'd all get hurt and stuff, but we'd get hot and sweaty, but it was fun, it was worth it. And band trips going on the bus and everything, and that's just about it. But I like band, it's pretty fun. Our next speaker is Dan.
Band's been pretty fun for me too. We've all been in it since about 4th or 5th grade. Fifth. And
It seems so long.
band camp was great. The only thing I regret about band camp was not winning the volleyball tournament. I remember that. Yeah.
Shut up.
I've had a lot of good friends. Probably some of my best friends are here in the band. Some of the first friends I made when I moved here in the band. It's been a pretty fun year so far, the senior year. I didn't really have a speech planned either.
All right.
I think I'll just go on to the next speaker, which is Matt Evans.
Yo, Matt.
Well, as far as I know, I've been in band all my entire life. Because I cannot remember ever not being in band. My brother and sister were in the band way back whenever they had those beehive hats. But they've changed since then. Band has been an important part of my life because it's helped me instill discipline in my life. As far as the marching goes, it's not only that, it's just, it gives you something to do on the weekends, if you want to look at it like that, whenever you're young. And it builds up a competitive quality in yourself that you want to strive to be the best. And whenever you're working with such a large group of people that's been in our band, it seems like it's really hard to stick with it, because sometimes it seems like you're not that much of a person. You know, there's so many people out there that you're just one of the faces in the crowd. And I guess that's one of the disadvantages of being in a large band. But an advantage of being in a large band is that you have this advantage of just being a large band, and there's no limits on what you're showing. Well, it's funny. Okay. And like everybody else said, we've had a lot of fun on band trips. It's been awesome. When I was in 8th grade, I was in the high school band, and we went on a trip to Florida. And it was pretty neat. I don't know, I didn't have that many friends in the band because I was so young. But I got to meet a lot of people, and it was a good experience. And then on our St. Louis trip, that was a lot of fun when we were sophomores. And I've met a lot of friends in band. I was already friends with most of the people, of my really close friends, but I've also met a lot of underclassmen that I probably would have never even known if it hadn't been for band. So I'm really happy that I've gotten to know all these people. And I'd like to thank Mr. Preston for having the patience to put up with us. And our next speaker is Karen Burchett. Thank you.
I've had a pretty interesting career in band. I started out in 5th grade, and I started playing the clarinet. And then when I got along to junior high, I was sort of volunteered to try to play the baritone. But that didn't work out too well, so then my 8th grade year, I was field commander. And then after that, Mr. Preston got this idea that he wanted me to play bass drum, because he didn't have anybody else to play it. And so I ended up playing it my freshman and sophomore year and decided it was enough of that. So I went back to playing clarinet, and then my senior year, I was being a field commander. And so it's been pretty interesting, and I've got to experience a lot of different places in band, like the percussion, and then in the band, and then having the position of field commander. And it's really something that's neat to experience, because there are so many different groups, and you just get so many different kinds of friends, and you grow close to all of them. And through band, you earn some of your best friends, because you spend a lot of time with them, and you do a lot of special things. And one of the things that I always remember when I think of band is not only band camp and all the practices and everything, but at those times at competitions when we'd get in our prayer circle and we'd all pray together. And I just thought that was really neat that it could take a special group like that would get together and actually share what they're feeling and everything. And there are some other times when you know that if you're going through a rough time or anything, there's always the band to fall back on you. The past 2 years, we've kind of had a rough band camp. My junior year at band camp is when the year that Tammy Bottoms died, and it was just really neat to see how everybody cared enough for the people that were really good friends with her, and how they were there if you wanted to talk to them, and how we all got down that valley that night and prayed, and it was just really neat. And then last year, when it seemed like things weren't going so well and everybody was getting mad at everybody else, but it ended up that we've had one of the best years ever. It's just that unique kind of friendship that pulls everybody together and makes this group just really special. And it's really been special for me, and there's no way that I could ever express how important it is and how many friends I've gained off of it, and the new kind of bonds that you can form with other people. It's just a unique experience and something I've never felt before in my life. And I would encourage everybody who's in junior high and the younger people in high school, the underclassmen, to just really stick with it. Because there were times when I thought, gosh, I hate band, and I went out of it so bad. But then if you just stick with it, it's so rewarding in so many different ways, not just for winning competitions, because whether you win or you lose, if we did our best, that was good enough, because we knew that we really had won. And I just like to thank a few people right now that have really made not just my senior year, but my whole year, my whole career in band really special. And I don't know if she's here right now, but Mrs. Paul, my sophomore year when we were down in St. Louis, after we got done performing, I had a little rough time and just couldn't breathe anymore. And so she took care of me, and I just really wanted to thank her, because I never really had the opportunity to. And I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Jackson for last year and this year. You've really been there, and Miss Jackson for always pinning up my uniform. I really appreciate that, and I never really told you all thank you. And Mr. and Mrs. Prawl, because you all have been like a second set of parents to me, not only on those band trips, but when I'd come over to your house and we'd all do things together. It was just really neat, and I really appreciate everything you've done for me. And for Mr. Threlkow, I was a counselor at junior high band camp this year, and I was kind of nervous because I didn't really know what to expect. But I got there and we all had a really good time, and he was real flexible, and we just got along great, and it continued throughout the year. And you're just a really neat person, and I'm thankful that I got the opportunity to work with you and for you to be my assistant band director. And I'd like to thank Mr. Preston for those times my sophomore year when I wanted to quit, and he really didn't want me to, and he kind of talked me out of it, and I'm glad he did. And for all those times, to be confident in yourself, he really taught me that, and to give all you can, and that he taught me that band is just not something you play your instrument and you march around out in the field, that it's a bunch of people who work together and care about each other and really enjoy what they're doing because your friends are there and you can all work together. And I'd like to thank my parents, because it takes something to come in at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and they'll still be sitting there waiting for you, and for them to travel to all the band competitions and just give you all your support. And I really learned a lot from my parents too, and I just want to thank them. And it's my last thing is my senior year, I was really worried about it. I didn't know if I was going to have any fun or not. And so going into it all summer and last spring, I was worried, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm not going to have anybody hang around with, nothing to do. But it turned out that I had made a lot more friends, and we all became a lot closer. But there's one person in particular that really made my senior year, and that's Shannon McCoven. And I just want to thank you so much for, I'm sorry, for being my friend and for spending time with me and doing things with me and make me feel accepted. And I never really thanked you enough, but I want to thank you for being that special friend that I needed. And I want to thank the band for supporting me in my first year full commander and putting up with all my mistakes, like at band camp when I gave you the march without your horns up. and so now I thank all the seniors, because it's really been neat all these 8 years or however long it's been to grow up with you and experience the same things together. And I just wish next year's band, I wish Shantina, I wish you all luck in the world. And next year's band, I wish you all luck in the world and hope that you all can accomplish your dreams. And the way you all sounded today, I think you'll do pretty good. Thank you. I can reach this thing. I'm so happy. Mr. Preston. Oh, yeah. I got to get up here. Gosh, so many people.
Stand up in the chair.
It doesn't like me. Feedback. Okay. Well, let's see, where do I start? This year's band camp had to be the best band camp I've ever had in my life. I hated band camp my freshman, sophomore, and junior year so badly. But there was one special person that made my senior band camp. Can you believe it? I think you know who he is. But anyway, to all those people who rode the third bus with me, never mind. No. How many people had to put up with the little sisters and the big brothers singing Bob Overran? I mean, I swear, everyone hated me. I mean, we bring a box, we sing Bob Overran, everyone go, oh my God, please don't sing that song. But I thought that was pretty original. Anyway, what was the next thing I was going to say? Well, I'd just like to thank everyone that I've met, and I thought I'd never be up here. I remember being back there and watching everyone saying, oh my God, I don't want to stand up there and say this. But I guess we're finally here. And to tell you the truth, I don't want to graduate. I'd like to stay here another year and just perform again. I really miss it a lot. And it was so heartbreaking when Mr. Preston told us we're not going to go to Georgia. And I just want to wear my band uniform one more time and just march that show one more time. Because it was really exciting. And all the hugs and you get from everyone before you go on. as Karen said, it was just a big family, and it was great. And another thing, I'd like to apologize. Miss McCovens here. I know she hated me, but we come back. I can't remember what it was. Must have been in Indiana. Stopped off in Louisville. This guy, I don't even know who he was, came back there and started yelling at me to shut up because I kept on laughing. Here it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I was just laughing off the top of my head. And he came up here and just told me to shut up. I said, oh, okay. I don't really want to. And then about 30 minutes later, Karen and I were probably up again just laughing. And Miss McCombs goes, would you just shut up? Shut up. I wonder if all the band parents are going, now who wants to take turns riding the bus with Keisha? It must have been that. I think that's what went around. But I apologize for my big mouth. I don't know which one. Ask my parents if one of them genes. I don't know. No, but as I'm talking, I really like to thank my parents. I won't cry. I never tell them enough.
Take a breath.
How much I love them. There's not one thing in the world. Crap. They would do for me, and I love them very much. You gotta have strong-willed parents, and they come up at 2 o'clock in the morning and wait for you for hours. And the thoughts going through a parent's head, oh my God, with the bus wreck, oh my God, And then me always being late home. They tell me 10 o'clock, and they know I'm not gonna come home until 11, so I guess they're finally putting up with me now. But when I go away to college, it's gonna be hard. Not having my parents there and telling me what to do and what time they want me home. And I think the hardest thing is going to be is when I separate from my best friend out there, Lisa. It's going to be really hard being away from her and everyone up here. And I just love everyone to death.